they feared what might happen once the hostage situation at Seraph Industries was
What the fuck
resolved.
happened?
Regardless, several violent... Perhaps they feared what might happen once the hostage situation at Seraph Industries was
Access granted. Access granted. Access granted.
Paradise that will be floating in our orbit. A paradise that none of you minions will be able to afford. Surprise, surprise. Another one I've been telling you about for years, folks. Listen, to boldly go where no tyrant has gone before is no groundbreaking notion. The real secret and what they don't want you to know is that this space station is where they're going to escape to if their plan for domination doesn't work here on Earth. They're gonna hide in orbit and use a spy satellite to control us.
Access granted.
Another
You sure could teach my boys some tricks, Jensen.
Tong? How did you get this frequency?
Ancient Chinese secret. Now listen, you're going to plant that package in Administrator Wang's office. Put it on the bastard's desk and trigger it. Sound good?
Sounds like I'm doing you a favor. How does it help me?
The explosion should distract the guards. Then you hop in a cargo pod and off you go. But you only got one shot. No turning back once you trigger that thing, you get me?
I got you. Only set it if I'm ready to go.
check out that noise. If anyone's here, come out now!
I just wish that he'd tell us he wasn't going to tamper with the data before we start loading. Confuse the shit out of me.
Access granted.
Shit! So that distraction wasn't just for me, was it, Tom? Richard, I'm going off the grid for a while. Not sure how long.
Why? What are you up to, Jensen?
Following a lead.
And where exactly is this lead taking you?
You there! Get that cargo, clear the fire! We're pulling out now! Load it, secure those pods!
Answer me, Jensen. Where are you going?
Hell if I know, Pritchard. Hell if I know. Pritchard, any chance you're still there?
Jensen, my God. You've been offline for days. Where the hell are you?
I was hoping you'd tell me.
I'm pinging you now. You're in Singapore. Something's wrong, Jensen. I pinged you, and a second later I lost your GPL signal. It's like you disappeared into a black hole.
Gotta be a jammer.
Well, obviously. If you can find the transmitter and take it offline, I'll be able to track you. And keep you on a tighter leash.
I've got more important things to do than help you keep tabs on me. If Megan and her team are here, there's no time to waste.
I'm sure she was probably barking orders at him again. Looks like this show is packed with A-listers now. Question is, who's Things would be a lot easier if Darrow was still around. Anyway, I better get back to storage in case he decides to spring a surprise inspection on us. Good idea.
Only raises more questions about the problem of human beings. Returning to the latest story, the World Health Organization today issued an unprecedented recall on augmentation. For days, reports of temporary malfunctions or static disturbances have been flooding in from around
What was
the
that?
Elizabeth Duclair, spokesperson for the WHO, confirmed that the cause of these disruptions has been linked to a major malfunction in the multi-channel peripheral nerve biochip, a device which transmits neural impulses directly to inorganic tissue. She is urging people to visit their local limb clinics immediately.
Shit,
to have
what a
the
mess.
process
What happened here?
reversed. Inside sources tell me that augmentation giant Tai Young Medical is scrambling to produce enough new and improved biochips to meet the expected demand. This widespread defect, coming so soon after the recent riots, only raises more questions about the problem of human enhancement. Is this the beginning of a complete technological breakdown, or just another glitch in the system?
Access granted.
You must have done something, Jensen. 4 of our GPL signals just popped up, including yours. Koss, Colvin, Faraday. I'm not picking up Dr. Reed.
Send me the coordinates you do have. And Pritchard, tell Sarif.
I can't. While you were incommunicado, Mr. Darrow invited him, Bill Taggart, and the UN delegates to Panchea. They're halfway to the Arctic by now.
Great.
He's urging people to visit their local limb clinics immediately to have the faulty chips replaced. Inside sources tell me that augmentation giant...
Hello? If anyone is hiding here, you better come out.
No need to report a shadow, I guess.
Did you hear footsteps?
Don't stick that weapon in my face. What is wrong with you?
Nice to see you too, Dr. Goldman.
What? Wait a second. I know you. You were Seraph's security guy. Way to protect our asses.
Hey, check the attitude, Doc. I nearly died trying to save you.
Oh, and now you're here to take me back. Well, maybe I don't want to go. Maybe I've got more here than I ever had at Seraph.
Would Vasily Savchenko agree with that? They executed him and dumped his body in a ditch.
That's not true.
Believe it. Unless these murderers have you so brainwashed, you don't mind building their toys.
It wasn't a toy. It was a software upgrade that limits functionalities in a biochip. They told me it was for crowd control. Is Vasily really dead? You saw the body?
What was left of it?
Oh my god. I should have listened to him.
Dr. Colvin, I need to locate the rest of the team. But Dr. Reed's GPL isn't broadcasting.
She's in the secured zone. There are guards everywhere.
Then I need a way to get the guards out. A distraction. Maybe a lab accident, what do you say?
After what those bastards did to Vasily? Of course. But one minor incident in this lab won't be enough.
No. But if a couple of other labs go up, simultaneously...
Declan and Eric. Of course. Interesting idea, Mr. Jensen. Ambitious, but risky. The timing will be critical.
I'll coordinate the attack. But you understand that this could all backfire.
I'm no shrinking violet, Mr. Jensen, but... there may be another issue.
They're tracking your GPLs, aren't they? I've been wondering how to get around that.
Smart man. Just like Vasily. He had a plan to shut down their tracking and jamming protocols using a virus. Maybe Declan or Eric know something more about it.
Okay, wait for my signal, Dr. Colvin. When your GPL starts to vibrate, set off the distraction.
I understand. And I'm sorry for what I said earlier.
Please, I'm just a scientist. You don't need that weapon.
Dr. Koss, I'm here to get you out.
Jensen? From Seraph? But we were told we'd been written off.
Not exactly.
Listen, Jensen. They forced me to work for them. I didn't want to create the new biochip, especially since it was based on Seraph's research, but they didn't give me a choice.
No one doubts your loyalty, Dr. Koss. Do you know what they plan to do with this new biochip?
I'm not sure. They said something about having Tai Young Medical produce it and distribute it through LIM, but I can't be sure.
I know, and I'm here to bring you all back. But to reach Megan, I need you, Colvin, and Faraday to stage lab accidents as a distraction, simultaneously.
Isn't that a little risky? Besides, how will we coordinate these accidents? It's impossible.
Maybe not. But it's that or staying here and eventually ending up like Dr. Savchenko.
They killed him, didn't they? He kept provoking them, coming up with these wild escape plans. They try to keep us apart as much as possible now. All right, Mr. Jensen. I'm with you. What's our next move?
We need to disable their GPL tracker. I know Dr. Savchenko was working on something.
Yes, a virus program. We all thought it was too risky considering we had nowhere to go. But I don't have it. You'd better check with Nia or Declan.
Sit tight, Dr. Koss. When you feel a vibration from your GPL, set off that distraction. That'll be the signal.
I will. Good luck, Mr. Jensen. And hurry.
Yeah? Who is it? You gonna stay out?
Access granted.
Jensen? Good grief, lad. What the blazes happened to you?
I made the mistake of surviving. I'm here to get you out, Dr. Faraday.
I told Vasily that Sarif wouldn't stop looking.
Sevchenko's dead, Dr. Faraday. I'm sorry.
I figured as much. One day he was just gone, and they wouldn't say why. We were all afraid, so we just kept to the work. They forced me to create a signal pattern that could broadcast software upgrades directly into a person's implanted circuitry.
Upgrades? That do what?
Whatever instructions have been encoded into them. They said it was to improve efficiency at clinics, but that wouldn't be the only application. Far from it.
I see. Dr. Faraday, we need to free Megan from the isolation zone. I've got a plan to distract the guards. 3 lab accidents.
I like your style, son. And it just might work if you can get Nia and Eric to agree. But timing them to occur at once, that will be the trick.
I'll worry about the timing. For now, sit tight and wait for my signal.
There's one thing you're forgetting, lad. They can track our GPL signals.
I know. But I'm hoping you might have the solution to that problem. Sevchenko's viral program.
Of course! I shouldn't have underestimated you. Vasily gave it to me before he disappeared. Here you are. Upload it onto the central security computer. It will scramble their scanners. I would have done it myself, but I'm just a scientist.
Don't sell yourself short, Doc. Tell me, where do I find this security terminal?
Vasily told me there's a tunnel leading to it, near the back of the compound, I believe. But I'm afraid you'll have to explore a bit to be sure.
Any idea who's behind this, Doc? The kidnapping, the facility?
Not really. Remarkable considering I've been here 6 months. You would have thought someone would let something slip. But if it doesn't have to do with the research, you don't get a word out of them.
Sounds like the guards are well trained. But what kind of threats were needed to stop the other researchers from talking?
Well, there were threats early on just to get us to work. Of course, Vasily saw right through that. Kept saying they needed us. I suppose in his case, the risk outstripped the return at some point. Damn them.
Dr. Sevchenko probably knew the risks and accepted them.
That he did. Go on, lad. Let's put this plan of yours into action. It's time to teach these wankers a lesson.
Once I upload the virus, it'll be time to act. I'll signal you. A vibration in your GPL. Be ready.
Understood, lad. But do be careful.
Access granted.
Pritchard, are you still tracking the scientists?
Of course.
Simulate feedback along that route. Make it strong enough to vibrate their implants. They have to feel it.
A signal, eh? Not bad, Jensen. I'm sending it now.
Hostile on the run!
Your tenacity, Adam Jensen, is really quite irritating. We'd like you to stop now.
I'm afraid I can't, Zhao. You see, I figured it out. I know what you and your conspiracy buddies are planning.
Do you? How clever.
A new biochip. A software upgrade that limits what augmentations can do. You're creating a kill switch. You kidnapped Megan Reed's team to do it, and you're seizing control of the market to ensure it gets distributed. All because you're afraid of people like me. Augmented people, with the power to resist you.
No one's afraid of you, Mr. Jensen. All your blundering around and childish interference hasn't stopped a thing. Tell me, have you been to a limb clinic lately?
No!
Oh yes, Mr. Jensen. You figured out our plans, but not soon enough. Dispose of him, Namir. And this time do it right.
You should have stayed dead, Jensen. This is as far as you go. I'm right over here. Come get it. How does it feel, Jensen? No, behind you, Jensen. Even when I heard that you lived, I didn't chance. Tracked me all the way here. Finding me now should be simple. I'm right over here. Come get me. But even I have orders to follow. And you were off limits. do you realize how hopeless this is? You! Died the first time. So stubborn. You should have given up this chase long ago. Even when I heard that you lived, I didn't chance. Will you lose your nerve, Jen, now that the end is near? She's lost to you, my friend. Accept it. That business in Detroit with Barrett, so stubborn. Should have given up this chase long ago. Will you lose your nerve, Jen, now that the end is near? How can a man be so clueless, so lost? I'm right over here. You have no idea what it is you're chasing, do you? Behind you, Jensen. Lost a good man. I'm right over here. Come get It took losing Yelena, but do you realize how hopeless this is? You will not leave here. That business in Detroit with Barrett, I'm right over here. Come get me. Look at you, jumping at shadows like a scared child. I underestimated you, Jensen. Behind you, Jensen. What did I have orders to follow? That business in Detroit, we buried. It should have ended there. Look at you, jumping at shadows like a scared child. That business in Detroit, we buried. It should have ended there. Tracked me all the way here. Finding me now should be simple. Even when I heard that you lived, I blamed chance. Do you realize how hopeless this is? You! Will you lose your nerve, Jensen, now that the end is near? I underestimated you, Jensen. Right over here, my friend. You have no idea what it is you're chasing, do you, Jensen? Behind you, Jensen. Lost a good man. I should have taken a hand after that. Will you lose your nerve, Jensen, now that the end is near? You have no idea what it is you're chasing. Look at you, jumping at shadows like a scared child. I underestimated you, Jensen. Do you realize how hopeless this is? You! So stubborn. You should have given up this chase long ago. How can a man be so clueless, so lost? Right over here. Come get me. Lost a good man. I should have taken a hand after that. Now that the end is near? This is as far as you go. Only one of us. Behind you, Jensen. Knowing you'll die without finding the truth? Look at you, jumping at shadows like a scared child. This has been a long time coming. You should have died the first time. Tracked me all the way here. Finding me now should be simple. I thought you would be more formidable than this. I knew you would show up here eventually. Do you realize how hopeless this is? You so stubborn. You should have given up this chase long ago. Right over here. She's lost to you, my friend. Accept it. But even I have orders to follow. Will you lose your nerve, Jensen, now that the end is near? How does it feel, Jensen, knowing you'll die without finding the truth? Do you realize how hopeless this is? You. It took losing Relay, but you have their attention now. And behind you, Jensen. I knew you would show up here eventually. Will you lose your nerve, Jensen, now that the end is near? How can a man be so lost? This has been a long time coming. You should have died the first time. You're a fool! There's nothing here for you. Look at you, jumping in shadows like a scared child. Lost a good man. But will you lose your nerve, Jensen, now that the end is near? Even when I heard that you lived, do you realize how hopeless this is? You do not need it. Tracked me all the way here. Finding me now should be simple. Lost a good man. I should have taken a hand after that. I'm right over here. Come get me. But even I have orders to follow. Knowing you die without telling the truth. To be honest, look at you, jumping at shadows like a scared child. Behind you, Jensen. Will you lose your nerve, Jensen, now that the end is near? Tracked me all the way here. Finding me now should be simple. I'm right over here. Come get me. hope... This is you must be here. You have no idea what it is you're chasing. Behind you, Jensen. Even when I heard that you lived, I blinked. Will you lose your nerve, Jensen, now that the end is near? I thought you would be more formidable than this. Do you realize how hopeless this is? You will not win. Look at you, jumping at shadows like a scared child. Track me all the... I'm right over here. Come get me. I thought I killed you, but so stubborn. You should have given up this chase long ago. Finish it.
Not until you tell me where Megan is.
You've lost her, Jensen. Men like us, we never get back the things we love.
Jaren, is that you?
Not exactly.
Adam? Oh my God, Adam! It's you. You're hurt. What happened?
What happened to you? I risked my life for you, Megan. I came halfway around the world, and for what?
It's not what you think.
Are you part of this?
No! No, Adam, I swear it! The kidnapping was real. The attack on Seraph Industries, they came after me. They wanted my research.
And when did you decide they could have it?
It didn't happen like that. I wanted to tell you, but I couldn't. I couldn't! And then David said we had to use it. We owed it to mankind.
David? What are you talking about?
My great discovery. The genetic framework I found that makes it easier for living tissue to bond with implants. I found it. In you, Adam. I used your DNA. I wanted to tell you, I swear. But David convinced me what it could mean for mankind. How much better off we could all be. It took Hugh to make me see how wrong I was.
Hugh? Hugh Darrow.
He owns this facility. After Namir brought us here...
Pritchard! Patch me into Seraph, now!
Adam, please! He was only pretending to work with Tai Young and the others. He found out what they were planning to do and told them he would help. But only to make sure they never succeeded. Their control signal won't work.
But it does work, Megan. Zhao damn near shut me down.
No. No, that can't be true.
Have I ever lied to you?
I'll reset your software. It'll put things right again. I've insulated your chip to prevent external signals from reaching it. It's something I developed recently using nanotechnology.
Thank you, David. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Sarif here has asked me to show the world how human enhancement technology can change it. After careful deliberation, I've decided I must do exactly that. Forgive me.
Oh God. He's modified the control signal. Anyone with the new biochip will be affected. Hugh never said anything about this.
I'm going back for the scientists.
No, Adam! I know the complex better than you. I'll find them. There's a hangar bay through there. Get to its control room and retract the roof. Clear a path for us.
Access granted. Access granted. Adam, I'm getting my team out of here. You have to go to Panchea and stop Hugh.
You and I aren't done with this, Megan.
I know how it looks, but you have to stop the broadcast. I think it's causing the new biochips to overstimulate the vagus nerve, creating terrifying hallucinations.
You mean it's driving augmented people insane?
Yes, and it's up to you to stop it. Use the Leo shuttle. It will take you to Panchaea. Good luck, Adam.
Automated systems online. Darrow sequence 1, code 1, 1A, preset and ready to engage. Suborbital trajectory plotted. Destination, Panchaea. Begin countdown, Mr. Darrow.
Begin countdown.
Code 000. Confirm 0. Countdown commencing.
Stop!
Stand by for liftoff. Electrodynamic launch assist sequence commencing. Beginning descent.
Jensen. Jensen, can you read me?
Barely. I've reached Panchaea, Pritchard. Any word from Sarah for the UN delegates?
Nothing. The installation went into lockdown shortly after Darrow gave his speech. I can't tell if anyone's even alive. And the signal's still broadcasting.
Meaning no one's safe till I get in there and shut it down.
You'll have to disengage the lockdown first. Look for a master control panel at the top of the tower. Jensen. Jensen, can you read me?
Barely. I've reached Panchaea, Pritchard. Any word from Sarah for the UN delegates?
Nothing. The installation went into lockdown shortly after Darrow gave his speech. I can't tell if anyone's even alive. And the signal's still broadcasting.
Meaning no one's safe till I get in there and shut it down.
You'll have to disengage the lockdown first. Look for a master control panel at the top of the tower.
Richard, Panchea's broadcast center is at the base of the station near the bottom of the ocean. Is that right?
But the lockdown caused all the blast doors to seal. You won't be able to go down until you override them manually.
From up in the tower. I got it.
That? Oh, that was Nike. Please, let it be nothing. This can't go on. I can't take much more of this! Papa, be quiet! I can't think with all that noise! Must have been the wind. It's in my head. I know it is. The pipes! He wants the pipes again! Freaking me out! When we go in, and I'm gonna take him from the outside, and then we'll be able to get him out. Because I don't want it.
Access granted. Access granted. Access granted.
I don't think you want to do that, Mr. Jensen. Disengage lockdown, and whatever demons this station contains are likely to come crashing out on us.
Afraid to die, Darrow? Or just unwilling to face what you've done?
Oh, I know what I've done, believe me. I take no pleasure in it.
And yet you still did it.
I did what had to be done. 20 years ago, I gave the world augmentation technology. I thought I was giving it a bright future, but instead I gave it the means to destroy itself. No law, no UN regulation was going to fix that.
People are dying out there. Hundreds of thousands of people driven to the brink of insanity because of you.
I had to convince the world. Before today, people believed we should steal fire from the gods and redesign human nature. But human nature is the only thing we have that gives us a moral compass and the social skills we need to live in peace. Destroy it, and you destroy our very species.
Don't paint yourself a savior in this. What you're doing is insane.
Is it? When this is done, the Illuminati won't be able to control men and women like you as they had planned, from the inside out. No one will be able to use the technology I invented to make others into beings they desire. Something we both know has happened already.
You think you're Frankenstein? Killing his own monster?
Actually, Mr. Jensen, I prefer to think of myself as Daedalus, watching helplessly as his child crashes into the sea.
I'm ending this. Now.
You can't. The signal is being generated from the broadcast center at the base of this facility. Panchea's security system has been programmed to protect it, and will kill you before you even get close.
You designed that system, Darrow. You can tell me how to shut it down.
But I won't. You think what I'm doing is extreme. You simply don't understand. For humanity to survive beyond this century, it must abandon ill-conceived notions about transcendence and embrace change. But for that to happen, the hard lesson must be learned. Blood must be shed.
You think humanity needs to be punished? Is that it? Pain is the only thing people understand? By the time this is over, there will be no humanity left to embrace your change. The stress and horror you forced us to live through will have ripped it out of us.
I knew there would be casualties, but I thought, over time, surely the human spirit can recover. History has shown us again and again that the human race is hidebound and governed by inertia. As a society, as a species, the only way to elicit any kind of reaction from it is through an act of tragedy, a horrible cataclysm. I regret what I have been forced to do, but given what I know about mankind and the dangers facing us, this was the only viable choice.
You want us to see what you see. Fine. Our humanity is threatened because technology is messing with our minds. But how can we recognize this message when we're grieving over the people you forced us to leave behind? Friends and neighbors, people we care about. Is the image of their murders the vision you want us to have?
Of course it isn't. I don't want to be remembered as a monster. It was my genius that created the technology. My vision that seduced Sarif and Zhao and all the others who now feed off of it. They seek to stand on the shoulders of my research without comprehending the danger that people like you pose to mankind. I am the only one with the perspective, the insight,
to know what is needed. Nothing more to say, Mr. Jensen? Nothing more to say, Mr. Jensen?
People like me? You mean not like you? You changed the world when you invented this technology, but your creation is leaving you behind. And as long as it's allowed to continue, mankind will use it to evolve without you. Until the father of tomorrow is known as yesterday's man.
But they cannot leave me behind! Don't you see? You and I, we're two sides of the same coin. I could have been you if it weren't for this damned blood in my veins. But I was cheated by my own DNA. Cursed to become a cripple. And I am not the only one. As long as this technology exists, mankind will continue to divide. Help me make us all equal again.
Darrow, you created something incredible, but you couldn't let go. Is hatred really the only thing you have left? Look at what you've done out there. Open your eyes and look.
No, this isn't what I wanted. I saw the future, the danger to us all. Could my motives really be so tainted? I will give you what you want, Mr. Jensen. Codes to shut down Panchaea's security system. But you'll still be in danger. Much of the system is self-determining and lethal. When you see it, maybe then you'll understand. The technology I created will not be the future any one of us desires. Please, help the world understand that. Put that away. The codes should help you shut down the Hyron project, Panchaea's security system. When you see it, you will understand. There is no room for this technology in the world.
Richard, the lockdown's disengaged. I'm heading back to the hangar to see if those blast doors are open. Have you been able to raise anyone?
I'm picking up several glimmers, but there's too much interference. I think you're on your own, Jensen.
Careful there, Francis. You almost sound like you regret that.
don't run! It'll be much easier this way!
That? Oh, that was what? Please, let it be nothing.
Identify yourself!
Mine? They made me do it!
I won't let them take over. I won't. Don't run. It will be easier.
Get up! Get up! Get up! Get up! Get away from me! Get away! I don't want to have to do this.
Be difficult. This is best for both of us.
There we go!
How do you expect me to catch you?
Let me go! Get away! Don't run! It'll be much easier this way!
I didn't want this! Come closer! Come closer! You're gonna pay!
Stop running! I've got to do this! I don't want to hurry. There's nowhere you can go!
This is William Taggart. If anyone out there is listening, I'm begging you, help. We've barricaded ourselves inside the core server room. Many of us are wounded. Please, save us. Please, save us.
Access granted.
There's the virus.
No, there's no one here. It's all in your head. All in your head. Let me go! Get away! It's You're the one who...
Access granted.
my head. I know it is.
No! I won't let them take over. I won't. There's nowhere you can go.
Mr. Jensen, please. Please, put the weapon away. You won't need it. Mr. Jensen, how ironic that you should be the one to save us from the monsters out there.
Monsters, Taggart? You mean people. Augmented people who've lost all control, lost their reason.
Isn't that supposed to be my line? Unfortunately, it seems your esteemed Mr. Darrow decided to appropriate my point and turn it back on me. In madness and in blood. He has betrayed us all.
So you finally admit it. You are part of this, after all. You have been all along.
It would be pointless to deny anything now, but despite what you think of us, we never wanted augmentations outlawed. All we've ever sought is regulation, rules governing how the technology is developed, and laws that ensure it's used for the good of society.
You've raised society above humanity. So who gets to make those rules?
Men with wisdom, strength, and tenacity to know what's right. Proven leaders who distinguish themselves like you, Mr. Jensen. You've certainly earned the right to be one of us. All you have to do is take it.
I'm not looking for glory, Taggart.
Just remember that without control, there's no room for freedom, only anarchy. You were a policeman once. You know the importance of order.
I know there's a difference between order and slavery.
The biochip wasn't supposed to force people to do anything. It merely limited powers so that people couldn't go on killing sprees like the ones taking place right now.
Amazing how well that worked out.
Say what you will, but I know that some part of you agrees with me. Absolute freedom is no different than absolute chaos. Society needs boundaries if it has any hope of surviving. And you, Mr. Jensen, can be the one to give us that hope. Shut down Darrow's signal. Then help me get a message out saying that an accident at VersaLife contaminated the world's neuropozyne supply.
VersaLife? And what if I decided to blame the Illuminati?
The Illuminati is just a name to get rich financiers to invest more money. Besides, do you really think the world will believe in some 18th century conspiracy theory? Do this for us, and you'll ensure a future for mankind, all of mankind, augmented or otherwise. The future Hugh Darrow offers doesn't allow for both.
Let me think about it.
How did you manage to avoid being affected?
All of this is as much your fault as it is Darrow's. You and your cabal.
Perhaps. But all we sought was a safety valve, Mr. Jensen. A means of making sure the world would never spin out of control. The potential of this technology is great, but, as we've seen, its potential for destruction is even greater.
Your doomsday scenario doesn't impress me. You'd say anything to stay in power.
Do you think humanity will simply police itself? We do not live in some Eden, Mr. Jensen. Or are you that much like your boss, David Sarif, who envisions a world where everyone is enhanced and suddenly they all love each other? There will always be a need for methods of control.
And conveniently, in your future, the Illuminati will hold the reins.
Not directly. There are organizations already in place that are better equipped to handle certain things. The UN, for instance.
Reimagined, no doubt.
At least somewhat. And this technology will be a great part of it. Imagine, Mr. Jensen, a world governed by common principles. The end to international power struggles, to terrorism. These things can be accomplished if you join us. Stop the signal broadcast and get the word out, Mr. Jensen.
No, no, there's no one.
Sneak.
Ow!
Killing. I'm not listening. No, there's no one here. It's all in your head. Oh. No,
Please.
no, I won't let him take over. I won't.
Help us!
Get away. No, you get away. Get out of here. Go, go, go.
Access granted.
in my head. I know it is.
You're the monster. It's your fault. It was just in your head. Gain control. There's no one there. You're just hearing things.
Quiet! I can't think with all that noise.
I know you're not there.
It's in my head.
Stop
I know it
talking to
is.
me. I can't hear anything with all the noise. Something's in the shadows. Just play along.
What are you doing?
So nice and quiet. But you ruined it. You won't take me! I won't let you! Get up, I'll kill you all! I can't hear anything with all the noise. Look at that noise.
Put that on down! You'll never get me!
Adam! Oh, thank God you came. I've got wounded here. We'll have to move them first.
We can't move anyone yet. Not until I get to the base of the station and shut down Darrow's broadcast.
What? Why?
The chaos you experienced here, it's everywhere. The Illuminati created a biochip that stops people from using enhanced abilities, and Darrow turned it into a kill switch.
Oh my God, you... We gotta fix this, Adam. If people realize what's happened, if they believe augmentation technology created this chaos, they'll ban human enhancement research forever.
And that would be a bad thing.
Yes, it would! Don't you see what's at stake here? Ever since man first crawled out of that ocean, we've been striving to be more than we are. Augmentation technology is just the latest, greatest step on a very long road. But we've barely scratched the surface of its potential. We can't let fear stop us from continuing.
That's your belief, Seraph. Not everyone shares it.
But you do, Adam. I know it. And if we work together, we can really make a difference. We can improve the lives of everyone, but only if we fix this.
Go on.
We'd have to get a message out after you shut down Hugh's signal. Tell the world, tell them the Humanity Front did this. That their doctors created a virus that only affects augmented people.
You mean lie?
It'll give us time, son. Time to figure out how to destroy the Illuminati's biochips and move on.
And what about the people who've been hurt by this? Don't they deserve the truth?
Adam, if we want the freedom to become more than we are, we can't be